Let's go. I titled this channel INFP Journey. Um, but really I didn't really designate it to be something where I'm going to be talking about like what it is to be an INFP. I'm almost just hoping that an INFP will listen to me babble and somehow relate, right? And be like, yeah, I get it. Even if you don't understand exactly what I'm saying, you understand what I'm saying, if that makes sense. Maybe you won't. I don't know. Lately, I've been frustrated with trying to make content on this channel. In fact, I've just kind of reverted back to talking some sports on my other channel, just because it's easier, right? And I find myself in this place where, and this is like a lot of my life, I'm like this, right? Where I'm like, I want, I want company, you know what I mean? But I want to be alone, because sometimes being alone, right, I don't feel as alone as I do when I'm with the wrong company. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just at this point in my life where it's like I have this like almost desperation to have people around me that actually get me. You know what I mean? Like, that actually like truly understand who I am. Like, feeling as though like you've got all these people around you and you feel like you're alone. Like, that's, I think, almost worse than just being by yourself. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you don't. Maybe you do. I don't know. But that's just kind of how it's felt lately. And sometimes, as crazy as it may seem, recording content, making videos, even if nobody watches, it's a way for me to express myself and talk out loud without feeling like I'm crazy. And that's crazy, right? I don't know. I mean, I say quite often now to people in my life, like, I actually like crazy. If I hear somebody's crazy, if somebody's like, bro, that person's crazy, I'm kind of like, you know what? Like, I'd like to get to know that person. Because I think crazy people are like, I think that's where it's at. Not all crazy. Some crazy people, like, I'm like, bro, stay away. And I'm not talking like negative energy, low vibe people. I'm just talking like people who are out there. They just think differently, you know? So, so that's just kind of where I'm at. And I'd really like to start back with the making content on this channel. I finished a 75 hard challenge, December 5th. And that was going to be like the moment that I was going to be like, all right, I'm going to start creating content on this channel. I'm going to start like really just kind of opening up and discussing things like just in life in general that, you know, mean a lot to me. And for whatever reason, you know, again, it's one of those things I've heard those who are really good at explaining INFP like personality types talk about is the desire to start, but then just giving up because you get bored with it or you just whatever. I feel that way like quite a bit, you know? There's very few things where like I just go like all in, like, you know, for a long term, like, you know, 2025, actually it was 2024 going into 2025. Like, I had this, and I think if you go back in my videos, at least on TikTok, you'll see a lot of bowling content from that time period. And I set myself out like on a mission. I was like, yo, like, I want to be a professional bowler. Like, now, to be fair, out of any sport, I would say becoming a pro, like having a PBA card, is probably, out of any sport, I don't care what anybody says, probably the easiest. I mean, I'm 45 years old. I hadn't bowled in 20 years. And I mean, I think I'm naturally, you know, I'm pretty good at bowling, but still, to be out for 20 years, come back start bowling in a summer league, and then join the primary, the winter league, which is sanctioned, and put myself in a position where I'm averaging 212, and I could have got my PBA card if I wanted to pay the $100 and whatever, like I qualified. But I was just like, to me it was like, well, I did what I set out to do. Like, I accomplished the goal, which was proving that if I wanted to be a pro at this point in my life, I could do it. And I went the entire season, and that was cool. But I realized that it wasn't about the finish line for me. It was about the journey. And I truly appreciated and enjoyed the journey of that season last year. Like, I really did. I got to spend a lot of time with my kids. My daughter would come up every week whenever I would bowl. Like, she would join me. And then it started becoming a thing where, my son and his girlfriend, and then my daughter's boyfriend, like it just became this experience. And I think anything that I'm going to do in this world, whether it's my job, whether it's bowling or anything, right? It's got to be about the journey, not the finish line. Like, I'll tell people, like, my favorite part in the process of getting this car, this was my dream car. And I still look at it every day and I feel extremely grateful, but this was my dream car. A Lexus IS 350 F Sport, like, everything between the white exterior, the red interior, like everything about it, dream car. But my favorite part was when I walked out of the dealership the day before I got it, saying, hey, look, we're not going to be able to make a deal. Like, you're not getting to where I need you to get in the price, and that's fine. And it felt amazing. That was my favorite part, was walking out. And I just felt like, you know what? Like, I'm doing this on my terms. I'm not going to allow anybody to control me or to get me into something that I'm not ready for, or that I don't feel like that's the right price for me. And I walked out feeling like a boss, and then the next day they came at me and gave me the offer that I wanted. And but my favorite part about it was the process. It's the process is where it's at. People get so consumed in, oh, I want to lose 20 pounds. If you're not enjoying the process, right, of going to the gym, of working out, of eating better, of whatever, the 20 pounds isn't going to mean anything. You're just going to gain the weight back eventually, because you never enjoyed the process. If getting the dream car is like your goal, yeah, when you get it, it might feel good for a moment, but you got to enjoy the process. I talk about the 2020 Buccaneers, and I remember watching Mike Evans and that entire season, and I always ask myself, like, I wonder if he really enjoyed the process. Because once the clock hits zero, like, yeah, you're a champion, but now everything from that point on is just a memory. I'll probably continue this on in another video, because I really do enjoy talking about how I think the process is more important than the end goal. I'm going to get in here and get a workout in. I'll talk to y'all later. I'm out. Peace.